What I'm about to show you, any homeowner should be able to do. I'll be with you step by step. Keep your hands and feet inside the vehicle at all times, and we're gonna have more fun than we can handle. We are in Blanchard, Oklahoma, doing a maintenance on this heat pump that hadn't had maintenance done to it here in the last couple of years. So we're gonna tear it apart, show you step by step what you as a homeowner could be doing to help extend the life of your system and minimize your repair bills when it comes time. So let's get into it. Let's tear this thing apart. But before we do that, a little small checklist of tools we need here. Bonus points if you've got a drill, but you can get away with a nut driver. Most units today either are 5/16 or 1/4 inch sized nut, nuts and bolts on here. So you either need a drill that has a 1/4 inch or 5/16 chuck, or a nut driver that is 5/16 or 1/4 inch. Need some electrical tape to secure the wires once we get done tearing this thing apart. A needle nose plier or a good set of insulated pliers to really pull away some of those wires. And then this is kind of the bonus tip. This is a voltmeter, multimeter. So you could go to any local hardware store and buy one of these for super cheap. I really recommend everyone have one of these, just because this is going to make sure whenever we go to kill the power on the disconnect right there, that the power to our unit is actually off. All good intentions whenever a disconnect gets put in, but sometimes wires get crossed or things get aged and we end up with power where it shouldn't be, even whenever the switch is turned off. So to avoid getting shocked, and trust me, you don't want to get lit up with 220. It's better than your morning cup of coffee, frankly. So we're going to verify that the power is off using our multimeter. But beyond that, all we need is a water hose and a spray nozzle, and then we're good to go. We could do our maintenance in 30 minutes to 45 minutes. So what we're going to do, step one is always, we're going to take this disconnect cover off and turn the power off. Make sure that the power is off before we proceed to touching anything that's on the inside of this unit. Next, we'll take the electrical panel off. Make sure that our electrical panel is removed. Before we proceed with taking any wires off, what we want to do is we want to make sure what all wires are going to our fan and how and where they go, so that way we can put them back whenever we've disconnected them. So what I'd recommend is taking pictures of where those wires go, what colors they are, and where they connected. That way whenever it comes time to rewire it, you're ready to go and don't have to think about it. You can just look at your reference pictures. This is the first step in performing your own AC maintenance. You disconnect power from the unit. This right here is our disconnect panel. As you can see, I've already turned it off, but this is a switch panel. It goes from on to off. We make sure that that's set to off. Your panel, your disconnect might be different. It might be a plunger where you pull out little blade deal, but same deal. You just pull it out, set it on top of the disconnect, make sure that the power is off to your outside unit. Next, we're gonna take off the electrical panel cover. This is the brains of the outdoor operation. We're gonna stop right there. Don't even worry about it. Don't touch anything. Just look at it in all of its multicolored glory. Now we're gonna proceed to take off the top. That way we can see what wires we need to pull whenever it comes to removing this fan, because really we're only gonna be removing the wires associated with the fan and nothing else. We don't wanna touch anything else that's going on in here. We can perform our maintenance without doing anything but that. So we're gonna remove the top, so that way we can see what color of wires are in this, this piece of conduit there, and then trace them back in to the unit itself. So let's get after it. There we go. All right. I forgot to check and make sure the power was off. Yes, I flipped the disconnect, but we need to make sure the power is actually off using our trusty multimeter. You're gonna flip it to volts AC or VAC if you're a noob in the electrical world, but volts AC. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our multimeter, our two leads, doesn't matter which side they go on, and we're gonna locate the contactor. The contactor is gonna be where the power comes into this unit, on whether it's a heat pump or conventional AC. It's gonna be the same no matter what. So power is coming into the unit through this conduit right here. So we've got conduit, electrical whip coming in, and it connects right here. And we're gonna have three colored wires. We're gonna have a red, a black, and a green. Green is our ground. We can pretty much disregard that for right now. And what we're gonna do is come down here, locate where the wires come in at. So we've got this red and this black right here that are coming in from the base. They will come in right here. You'll have two leads on either side of your contactor, and all we're gonna do is put one of our leads on a screw there and another lead on the other one, and check and make sure power's off, and it is. We got 0 on the multimeter. So we are good to proceed and not gonna get shocked. So now we can go to take off the top of this unit. We're just gonna lightly pop this top off so that we can identify what wires go where from this fan. Just I scoot it back just a little bit so that way we can really look in here and see that, okay, we have 4 wires here coming off of this fan. And how do I know that? It's coming from this conduit up here, run down the side, run down here. It looks intimidating. It's got zip ties right now. It tells me that this has really probably never been maintained. But that's okay. We're gonna fix that problem today. We're gonna make it happen. So we're gonna have to cut those zip ties. And there's one. Now we know that we have 4 wires. We got a red, a purple, a brown, and a black. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna push that through this little shroud that's down here. So red, purple, black, brown. Now what we're gonna do is we are going to follow this to its end. So here's what's, a little pro tip here for you. Your purple and your brown are always gonna end up on your capacitor. And this is where I say taking pictures of things is the cheat code. So on the top of this capacitor here, we've got little labels. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see them here. We've got C, fan, and Herm. Herm, we're not even gonna worry about. We're not gonna touch it all. But our C, this is our purple wire from our fan, and our brown is from our fan as well. The red and the black, they match the red and the black coming in from the disconnect. So they're gonna be on the top of the contactor. So I will go ahead, listen to my own advice here. So we're gonna take a picture here. That way when it goes to wiring back up, I know that purple goes on C and brown goes on fan. Always take pictures of where wires go. I know we got wiring diagrams, but taking a photo is a shortcut to memory. We're gonna be able to just not even have to store this in the memory bank, look at it when it comes time to rewire it, and we're gonna be good to go. It's gonna make your life a whole lot easier and make this maintenance go a whole lot faster. You just take your needle nose pliers and just like a loose tooth, we're just gonna wiggle it off. Then we're gonna take this one, same deal, loose tooth. We found our purple and brown. Now we gotta go find our red and black. But I'm gonna go ahead and fish these through the rat's nest. This is hardcore maintenance for the hardcore homeowner. Congratulations if you're here with me doing your own heat pump maintenance. So our black wire, tracing it up, you know how I said it was gonna go to the contactor? Because it's a heat pump, it is not, it's going up here to a relay. So we're 3 down, 1 to go. And disconnected. What I'm gonna do is get in a little tight space and go ahead and pull these through this little hole here. That way I'm not trying to do it while I have the fan in my hands. I'd rather do it now, fish them all through, and then deal with it here in just a moment. Bingo. Now, this fan is free and clear, baby. So now we can pop it off and set it to the side. And we're not gonna need it again until we're putting this bad boy back together. So here we go. And that is how you take the top off of your heat pump or condenser. We're back to screw world. And by screw world, we gotta take all these panels off so that we can wash this coil properly. And if you only have a nut driver doing this, and you plan on doing your own maintenance for a while, I would highly recommend going and buying a drill. You can get a super cheap drill. You don't need DeWalt or Milwaukee. Shoot, you get the homeowner special. And the last one. Boom. Now, get to completely undress it. And we're undressed. This is really not too terribly bad. I mean, it's got some filth on it. So this Amana heat pump that we're doing a maintenance on today has what we call a split coil. It is exactly what it sounds like. This condenser coil, or heat pump coil in this case, is split all the way around this unit. Now, whenever it comes to doing maintenance, doing a split coil as a homeowner, you're gonna be classified as a professional homeowner. This is difficult maintenance. However, it's nothing above your pay grade. You can make it happen. We're gonna walk through it and show you how to split this coil so that we can properly clean the coil. So we're gonna start by splitting this coil, and what it looks like is these two are completely separate. So we're gonna just pop this up and out, and we're just gonna lightly work our way around this unit so that we can access most of it. And actually, we're gonna call that good here because we're gonna be able to spray both sides pretty well up until we hit about here. And after that, really and truly, as a homeowner, I wouldn't push it any further than that. I would let a professional jump in. However, this is going to get you 80% of the way there. If you feel like you need gloves, these are really sharp. If you're not careful on how you grab them, they will end up cutting you. It won't be super deep cuts. It'll just be like, 1,000 little paper cuts. And the next time you use Germex, you'll question your existence. But it doesn't look super dirty. Obviously, you see the little, cottonwood and dirt and debris and stuff like that. However, these coils will hold on to a lot of dust, dirt, and debris. Doing this one thing, cleaning the coil, will, one, save the life of your system. It'll help extend the life. And two, it will make sure that you're not paying excessively high utility bills or excessively high repair bills. This is the oil change of the air conditioner. We got to get it done. We got to make sure that we are doing it frequently, at least once a year, or else you're going to be paying too much in utility bills and paying too much for repairs. Whenever you go to clean your condenser or heat pump coil, you want to make sure that your water pressure looks something like this. Not too hard, not too soft, not going to damage the coil, but definitely going to get the dirt and debris off of your system. And as you're spraying, you want to just keep a downward angle. Here in Oklahoma, we got tons of cottonwoods, and so we want to make sure that we're rolling all that dust and debris down to the bottom of the unit so that it's getting off of our coil and we can just wash it away. This whole unit, I'm going to be going a pass on the outside and then a pass on the inside because we have the two different surfaces and we're not really fully split across the entire thing. You could peel this thing back, however, getting them back together, a little bit of a bear. So you can really see the split coil right here. This is a good shot of it. So we got water coming through both sets. I know it seems like we're really not doing much other than just spraying it down with water, but how does this improve your AC's performance in the long run? Well, whenever we wash it, get the fur coat off of it, as I like to say, what we're doing is we're giving it a chance to breathe. We're lowering our pressures. We're going to allow it to run a whole lot less strained, give it some time to actually have a clean breath of air. It's kind of like, we say this with changing your indoor air filters, but it's like you try to breathe with your teeth clenched. You could do it, but if we did it over a long period of time, it'd be super strenuous. Same deal for the outside. This is basically the equivalent of changing your filters for the outside. We got to make sure that it's breathing properly, getting enough airflow across the coils so that we can lower our pressures and make sure that this system isn't running a marathon 24/7, 365. If you're just doing this once a year, you're in a great spot. We're going to see some substantial gains from just cleaning this condenser coil as far as the overall efficiency, decrease in utility bills, things like that. Also, making sure that this system lasts longer. When I say the system lasts longer, if we're running with this dirty coil at all times, we're increasing our pressure. When we increase our pressure, we're increasing the load on our compressor, which is the black cylinder down at the base of your condenser. When we increase the load, we have pressure switches and all sorts of things down the chain that are going to get affected by higher pressures. So whenever we wash this condenser coil, not only are we extending the life of our system, lowering our utility bills, but we're also minimizing the potential for high repair bills when it comes time to repair your system. Doing this one thing once a year will save you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars in the life of this system. We got this thing washed up and clean as it can be. We're gonna get this thing snapped back together. If you have another topic of home maintenance with your AC or plumbing that you'd like to see us cover on what you could be doing to help save yourself a little bit of money, leave them in the comments below. Or just jump in there, say hey, interact with us, and be sure and like and subscribe. It really helps us out. I think that this is well within the, or should be well within the deck for a homeowner to do. However, that's why we offer maintenance plans. And if you don't feel comfortable doing so, sign up for a maintenance plan or buy a one-time visit for nominal cost and have your local HVAC company come out and do this maintenance for you. And shoot, most companies will let you sit there and watch along as they do it. So you can get some hands-on experience while watching them and chatting with your technician. So should a homeowner do their own maintenance? Maybe. Depends on your skill level and your comfortability dealing with mechanical systems, electrical systems, and water hoses. All right, last couple screws, flip the disconnect back on, then we're out of here. And you have just learned how to complete your own AC maintenance. Yard rolling, son.